Yo!
Hi.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
morning.
Good evening.
I feel, welcome to Good News York, sponsored by Ads on the Go, getadsonthego.com. I'm Mike Brindisi.
I didn't say it quick enough, so he jumped right in.
No, I wanted to get it out of the way.
This is why he's the best co-host,
I don't know about that at all.
and I'm just the other guy.
Yeah, well.
We'll get into that in a
we'll
minute.
get
I'm
into
at
that.
Major Growth Mode Content. I think he might have said that already.
No,
It's Tuesday.
it's Tuesday, which means
Tuesday News Day.
Tuesday News Day. And we got a bunch of stuff to talk about real quick. And I'm already feeling, yesterday, man, I was watching back some of the clips. I was very low energy. I was very Monday yesterday.
Yeah?
So I apologize. Yeah. I just wasn't.
I don't know. I think you were doing great.
Well, thanks, Pud.
We had a good
Pud?
time. We had a good
I
conversation.
called you a Pud.
After our, well,
I meant Bud. Remember that word,
I haven't
Pud?
that whole,
Dude,
yeah.
that's a great word.
I haven't heard
Pudwhacker.
Pud.
Yeah. He's such a Pud.
Bring back Pud.
Yeah. There's another one, but I'm hesitant to say it. If I'm hesitant, I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's a great 90s, like, Pud. But I meant Bud. You're not a Pud.
Totally off the fucking rails.
Wow. What a way to start. Anyway.
What a great, I was looking back at some of these clips too, and just a little plug for ourselves.
Sure.
Because I'm a shameless promotion whore.
What's the name of the
Our adventures at CannaCon last week are just phenomenal, and they're up all over. The episode is there, as we mentioned yesterday, but you can see some of the clips from there, especially the clip about a pizza vending machine.
Dude.
And if you have not seen this, it's on all our socials. You got to check this out. Mike's mind was literally blown. You could see the smoke coming out. Danny thought it was actually the pizza machine on fire. It was Mike's.
Yeah, I was the vending machine.
Yeah.
And I watched the clip back, and this is me being me. I totally criticized myself because I'm like, I didn't even really give any substance because I was you could see I was like speechless because we captured the exact moment when I saw it.
We specifically tried to do that, and we almost got away because you started walking towards it. We're like, Mike, there's a pizza vending machine over there. And you're like, whoa, I got to see this.
Yeah.
And we were immediately like, Danny, grab the camera.
Yeah,
and
we got it.
Get his first fucking reaction.
Dude.
And you were just blown away.
It's the one food that I could eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner and not get sick of. It's just, that's me. It's who I am. Can't wait for people to be like, oh, loser.
I don't have this nearly enough, but like a good breakfast pizza?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not just talking about like cold pizza from the night before for breakfast, which is also awesome. But, you get those ones that they do that.
I love pizza. I'm a pizza connoisseur.
Yes.
We had Nick from Tossin' Fire on here.
Yeah.
So to have it, like, I think it was, first of all, I love pizza, but second of all, I didn't think that we were capable as a society to have a pizza vending machine. And he showed me how it worked. The arm comes down after
Spits
you
out the
pick
pizza
it.
in the box and everything.
It takes it out of its tray that it's sitting on, puts it up inside this oven, cooks it. I mean, it's just...
It's incredible.
Gone are the days. Remember the old days at a gas station, get some M&Ms, you got to kick the machine. You left your
greasy
wallet on.
Dude in a wife beater T-shirt that he ain't washed in 8 years.
Yeah.
Like that's.
He had like the bugles that were like they expired 4 years previously.
Nobody's buying bugles.
Back then. I loved them. I loved bugles.
It was a good time. Anyway, check out Good News York on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. And I think that's all the places.
It was a good time, CannaCon. And thanks, Chimera, our clients, Chimera, who have a great podcast with us, for inviting us. That's the whole reason we were there.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
We had a lot of fun. I wanted to tell you, I was, speaking of other clips, I was watching our clip about the Osama bin Laden pizza.
Yeah.
That was around the corner from where the site was, which is still a mind-blowing.
Should we just rename this the Pizza Cast? I feel like that's...
Sure.
Our
we really are going with pizza. Yeah,
primary. A couple of fucking fat guys here,
dude. Some people, man. Trolls are great. Trolls actually make me happy. Because every time I even look into someone who trolls us, I don't even get past their bio, and I realize they ain't worth a shit.
This is called We Love Bad Comments,
dude. I didn't know this was a thing. And I'm not saying they're wrong for commenting this on the pizza, the Osama bin Laden video. First comment, okay? Who says, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Who says documentary like that, LOL? Then someone wrote, seriously. And then another person wrote, weirdos. And then, of course, some woman who has a profile picture who's a dog
Yeah, of course.
She writes, not everyone should have a podcast. I wrote, not everyone should have a dog as their profile pic. My rule of thumb is if your dog is your profile pic, you're ugly. And then my favorite, just pronounce documentary the way it's supposed to be. Why would you say it like that? Weird.
All right. Hold on. Danny, say that word.
Thank you. And don't say it the way I say it, how you would say it.
Yeah.
Documentary.
Thank you. That's how I said it.
I probably will say documentary.
That's the only other option
I
I
could
could
stumble it that way. How did you say it again that everybody's mad about?
Well, and me on here, I get excited, so I was like documentary, probably, but I said documentary, and I think they were. So I read those comments and I laughed because I don't give a shit. But then I started going, but what? They didn't correct me. What is it? And I'm like, the only other option is what? Documentary, right? What'd you say? Documentary.
Documentary.
Well, that's how I said.
That's totally different. Now I don't know how to say it anymore.
If my name was Terry,
God damn
I would
it.
want to be called Documentary.
The Trolls have won.
The Trolls won. I think they did. Not everyone should have a podcast. But listen, if you're out there and you're watching or listening, write us, producer at growthmodetech.com.
Send us your hate mail.
Or send us a video.
We'll turn it into positivity.
We will.
Here,
But let us know how you're supposed to say it. Because I think maybe, is it a regional thing? I have said it both.
No, I think you just pronounced it in
now
a
I'm all
goofy
hung
way.
up on it. Now I hate it. Now I just say doc.
People do.
I watched
that.
a doc.
Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up again. I had it and I somehow lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Bin Laden's Pizza.
Which that is still a wild story.
It is
Pizza place around. I love how that's what they focused on. Not the fact that there's a fucking pizza place around the corner from where a terrorist was killed, named after
the thing.
some terrorist.
I gotta sort of tip my hat for them paying attention, right?
Look, I love it. I love that they commented. Thank you. Thank you for engaging.
This is the master of the internet and the craziness of these algorithms and these things like this. The bulk of the comments and the interaction on this story is about you pronouncing a word in a goofy way.
Yeah.
Nobody even gives a shit about selling pizza.
Oh, Osama bin Laden pizza place? No biggie. Say the word right, weirdo. What?
There was a couple other comments that you kind of glazed by that I want to. One fella says,
They took a shot at you.
other guy can't stop interrupting. Now, if you're not watching this clip, the clip is predominantly Mike on the screen. I'm off the screen. My comments do. So, I replied to this guy. I said, it's called being a co-host, right?
Yeah.
Right? And it
At
is.
least give you a name.
I'm not going to get mad at this guy because I don't know that there's complete falsehood to his comment.
But
And here's what I'm going to say. I think there's often times where we might step on each other.
oh, all the time.
And it's not interrupting, but if we're not careful, and I am definitely guilty of this,
So am I.
if I throw something in as you're still talking, it doesn't come out great. So I will appreciate this guy, even though he's snarky, he doesn't actually give a fuck.
He doesn't have a profile pic. Strike
Yeah, and
one.
and
Your
again, I
comment's
don't-
null and void when you
Yeah,
don't even
I
have the
don't give a
balls
shit
to have a
about him.
profile pic.
But my point is, this is something that we could potentially do to improve, and it's not fuck him. It's just something in general that I think that we could do. So, like, the way we might be able to do that is, and both of us, and it's a challenge as we're going, is kind of add and listen to pauses for each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily like,
Shouldn't we talk about this off the air?
no, I think this is great. No, seriously, I think this is great.
No,
Like,
it is good.
how the sausage is made type of stuff, right?
Hey, now.
I think that's just a thing that any two people can do to improve so that we both get the jokes out, right?
Sure.
And we've tweaked this already a little bit, and a lot of people don't know behind the scenes, but we've changed some audio settings and taken off some of the gate settings and those behind the scenes. Basically what that means is they turn off some of the lower background noise so you can hear crystal clear who's talking. That results in me, when I say a snarky comment, when Mike's, it doesn't even necessarily come through. So it's not a high quality thing. So we've changed that. But I think a further improvement is, like I said, and I don't even know the best way to do it for both of us. I don't want to make, awkward pauses and things of that nature. But I think we should both keep in the back of our minds the best way to give each other a spot to get a comment in that doesn't step on each other.
Well, first of all, great feedback. You're absolutely right. Here's the sad part. I don't think people realize, including you, how much I have worked so hard at not interrupting. I have ADHD severely. So one of the main symptoms of ADHD, you're always interrupting people. I have worked so hard over the years at mastering just listening. Like when you were talking right there's a million comments I could have said.
Yeah.
And I've learned to listen, and I want to listen.
No, it's great.
But in those moments of excitement, because this is organic and because it's not scripted, we both get excited and we're firing comments off. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, I don't think we do it enough to where I don't even know if we needed to address it, but I'm glad you did because it's good. It's good.
But keep in the back of our mind.
Right. But fuck that guy. He doesn't have, look, if you have...
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Fuck that guy.
If your profile pic is a dog, you're ugly. And if you don't have a profile pic, none of your comments matter because you don't even have the balls to admit
this guy, his name is like King Farter or something like that.
Perfect.
Listen, he's completely irrelevant, right? And this is this is how we're spinning this stuff into a positive light is we're looking at this stuff and forget what this clown said to make fun of us. It's a good point to bring up something that helps us move forward.
And I also think it's important for people who, you hear about bullying on social media, and I hate when they use that word because it kind of makes it sound childish and not that it's not a problem, but what I mean is don't call it bullying. I'm saying when people harass you and troll you on social media like we've been trolled.
Trolling's a whole different thing. Yeah.
I think people should look at it this way because it feels bigger in the moment. When someone really personally attacks you, in that moment, if for some people, it feels really... Some people are good at just being like, oh, whatever, I don't care. Some people, like myself, it might hurt, and then I get over it in 13 seconds, and I'm like, wait, what am I doing? But there are people out there that really get affected by it, and you hear terrible stories about that, but these people don't matter. All you're hearing are people's thoughts. I've talked about that a million times.
And the other thing specifically, and not to get too far off topic, but the thing to keep in mind, anytime you get a trolling and negative comment, a stranger who just throws a negativity bomb at you that has no value other than that, what you need to understand is that's for them. That is them hurting and them trying to, use this as an outlet to get that dopamine hit and make themselves feel better about how shitty they are. So, we all want to immediately take this shit personal, but we have to realize that it just comes from a place of they got issues.
And they're probably scrolling and they see it, they write it, they don't even remember writing it.
I am certainly not immune to making snarky comments on some random things myself.
No. Snarky comments
I will give you that. The difference is I do use my name and my real profile. I don't have sock accounts. I don't hide my shit. You can find all of that. And I'm willing to pay the consequences for my obnoxiousness.
100%.
That's the difference. Unlike this faceless dude who said the other guy, meaning me, is not funny at all. I do appreciate that he was able to garner my entire personality from about 4 seconds of a clip that I'm actually not even featured.
Really got a good chance to meet who you are.
This person who has no photograph or anything, but has the year 1963 in their name.
What does that tell you?
Implies
boomer.
A boomer.
Nothing wrong with boomers. Just some.
And then some other guy that was just extra bent about your bizarre pronunciation.
Yeah. So back to that. The whole purpose of bringing this up wasn't really to talk about trolls. It was, what is your opinion? Maybe I'll put a poll up on our social media after this. How do you say documentary? I'll spell it out phonetically. Is it documentary? Is it documentary? Is it documentary? Is it document? I don't even know any other way.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, because guess what? If they're right and I say it weird, I want to fix it.
I don't think you have to.
No, I don't.
Everybody knew what you were saying.
And for the record, you were funny. I think you're the one that made that clip funny. I was just stating what was there. Your reaction was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Speaking of documentaries, I've been stuck on crime docs and the Osama bin Laden thing we talked about. But dude, it's been a while since I found a scripted show that I like. And love or hate,
like a traditional TV show,
just a traditional show, streaming show, So, like music these days, I find that every couple years, maybe within it, like 6 months to 2 years, depending on the space, I find a show that I am addicted to and I binge watch. It's been a while, and I found one.
Yeah, what is it,
dude? Love or hate Shane Gillis. Tires on Netflix is fucking awesome. I watched the first season. I'm like, this is good. But working in this world, I know that the first season, especially these days, a lot more things get greenlit. First seasons don't have usually the funding or the casting that you would get if you get picked up for a second season. First season's really good, lays the groundwork. It was fine. And when I heard they got picked up, I checked out season 2. Dude, in my opinion, from the writing to the casting, the characters they've created, the story, I love it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend Tires on Netflix. Great. It's like a Parks and Rec or Office about a tire shop called Valley Forge Automotive.
I'm only smirking because I feel like you've been sleeping on this.
I have.
But to be fair, season 2 just came out and they just started promoting that, so I could see why folks are picking it up. They may have missed it previously. Yeah. It is great.
It's great.
Like, the thing that I loved about it from the beginning of the first season is it's a little bit mindless in the best kind of way. Like, in the way comedy TV is supposed to be. You're not dealing with some gripping dramatic issues,
right?
And some crazy subplot and all. It's just funny,
dude. It's just funny. The characters are so real. The other part of it to me is the acting in it is so. It's just natural. It borders on.
I genuinely wonder how much of that is ad-libbed.
Exactly. Which I think a lot of it is. I can kind of pick up,
especially between Shane and
yes,
what's the manager,
the main guy.
I blank on his name.
I am too.
I've
either
done
way,
a ton of interviews with them, and they are just like they're buddies first and foremost. If people didn't know that, they didn't just come together for this, and they've obviously been comedians working together. So, but a lot of the shit, a lot of those scenes, like I feel like they're just a couple of guys riffing.
They are. And you can tell
called that a scene.
A lot of it's improv. The other thing I love about
so good.
Is as much as they are playing characters, they've really found a way, and this is what I love about comedic actors when they do it right, is they found a way to capture their personalities and just magnify it a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, they're playing a character, but that is how Shane Gillis acts, you know, in his stand-up and in interviews and things like that. And I don't know the lead guy, but I saw him at Seth Meyers' interview, and he was that dude.
Yes.
And it's just the storylines that they've come up with, the characters are hilarious. And the other part of it is, if you've ever been to an automotive shop, especially if you've worked in one, it does capture exactly what it's like to be at or work at a market. So I love it. Tires on Netflix. It's awesome.
Did you know, I don't know that this is really a spoiler. Did you know that one of the guest stars on that show, the gentleman who was in the first season.
I'm only on episode 6. Don't ruin anything.
I don't think he's already. Came back in the second season, needed a job. The startup guy. You remember the startup guy? The good looking, kind of tall, chiseled rich kid dude?
Yeah.
Did you know
the one that ends up doing coke?
Yes.
That guy, that's the episode I just watched. Great episode.
Did you know in real life he's an employee of Barstool Sports and he had to like play hooky to get out and go record that? He almost got canned from his full-time job because he had to go record that episode of Tires.
I almost looked him up and then I forgot. But as I was watching, I was like, this guy's hilarious.
You got to go look at some of that stuff.
No way.
Yeah, it's amusing.
Yeah.
But all of that, like I said, Netflix, I have a little bit of a frustration with some of the Netflix shows because I feel like lately all it's been showing me are these foreign movies and shows that are dubbed.
Yeah.
And like some of them are right, but others are like just a hair off. You know, obviously your lips don't necessarily move with the translated language.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just enough that I don't like it. I can't stand
it.
And, you know, so when I find some of these things, and I often find myself watching old shows and old, you know, classics that are great, like you said, Parks and Rec and stuff, but to find a new...
It's always exciting when you find a new show, you know, because you think... Oh,
they got to make more, though.
They do.
What is it? These 8-episode seasons?
Yeah. You know, I had a thought about that, too, while I was watching it, where I thought, I wonder if shows don't sustain the popularity like shows like The Office did. Like, I feel like Tires could be just as popular as The Office was. I mean, I know that's saying a lot, but or at least close, if it was spread out more, right? Because back in the day, you had to wait a week to see the episode.
I think it's a matter of they don't have to anymore.
Well, that's right. But what I'm saying is in the long run, I feel like shows are watched, you know, it condensed down. You watch it all at once. You kind of forget about it and move on. Whereas The Office lives on forever because you'd watch an episode, then you have a whole week to talk about it with your buds, and then you watch the next one. And it's strung out to where it's like it's a long commitment.
You know, traditional television was made to sell advertisements.
Correct.
And so obviously you want that new episode that draws that new audience. Ideally year-round. They never went year-round, but... You know, ideally as many as you want. So that's why most of those shows had 20, 24 episodes.
Right.
You know,
right.
because it was weekly TV. And some of them even like on Paramount and stuff, if you watch any of the like the cop shows and stuff that are still on regular NBC, you'll still get huge number of episodes. But these ones that are exclusively for streaming, they're like, you know, we don't have to drag this out. We don't have advertisers paying us for 8 months. We've got one chunk of change, and here's your, you know, 6, 8, 10 episodes, and look, now everybody hold on tight for a year and a half for us to do it again.
Exactly. I'm certainly not asking to go back to that format because, look, there is no you can't fit the toothpaste back in the tube, right? Like, now that we can binge watch episodes,
you know, I want to
binge,
once, but I also want 20 to binge.
There you go. That's kind of where I'm at.
That's my streaming demand.
Do you take your rating as, I feel like you don't, as much as I'm psychic. I'm psychic. I'm psychotic, but I'm also psychic.
What has happened?
I just had a stroke live.
Mike's glitching out.
No, I'm psychotic about algorithms and about like my personal. So when I watch Netflix, I make sure that after I watch a show or a documentary, I give it 1 thumb, 2 thumbs, or a thumbs down. I want Netflix to know exactly what I think because I want the right recommendations.
Yes, I mean,
and if my kids sign into my account, I'm like, no. Back the fuck up and go into your account. I don't want cartoons showing up. I love cartoons. But I take my ratings seriously.
I don't bother to rate them, but I do completely understand everything else you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I especially have that issue with Spotify where my kids would use my account and then my Spotify like recommendations are like one of the main reasons that I liked it because it would push things that I either forgot about, great songs, or, you know, new ones that I would actually like. And then I randomly get mixed in, you know, Hamilton and
oh, nice
fucking shit that I don't want to listen to from my children. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Something happened.
Something happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Oh,
this.
It's me,
Mario.
bootleg ceramic thing.
That's a ceramic Mario, my friend.
That is.
Bought and paid for by Danny Tripodi. Danny, do you want to?
This is like some investigative journalism here.
Danny was standing in here this morning before we went on. That is like a felt. His butt is like very pronounced. He's very sculpted butt.
You know.
And he goes, "Oh, I forgot. I got something for you guys." And we're like, "Is
what?
this where he kills us?"
Yeah, what's happening right now?
He left the room. He comes back with this.
Yeah.
And I immediately offered to give him $10 more than what he paid for. But there's quite a story behind it. Danny, do you want to? I feel like it's your story to tell, not mine.
Sure, yeah. I met a guy in a parking lot and $40 for a ceramic Mario piggy bank, and here he is.
All right, great story.
But in reality, I was just so captivated after seeing it, not in one place or 2 places, but 3 different places around Syracuse. I was like, what the hell is going on? Honestly, I thought it was a plastic statue initially.
Sure.
Like I thought it was maybe like
From the side of the road, I thought they were plushes.
Quality.
yeah, like they're just standing out in abandoned parking lots, and they're selling these copyright infringed characters that kind of look like the thing. I think Mario looks pretty good. There was a Sonic that was terrifying.
Well, Sonic's kind of terrifying anyway.
Yeah, so I just had to go and talk to the guy and be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
And he just didn't really give you anything, right?
Yeah, he didn't.
Like he didn't.
English was a second language.
Okay. All right. Little barrier there.
And he said this is a piggy bank made from Mexico. He pointed to the label on the top of his hat. It says made in Mexico. And yeah, they're just selling these Mexican piggy banks.
Yeah. So first of all, it's glorious. It's really well made.
I don't know if I can do that,
but the reason we're bringing it out is if anyone is listening or watching and knows why the hell there are these pop-up Mario ceramic piggy bank parking lot sales going on, we would love to know. Again, write the show, producer at growthmodetech.com. Is that the right email?
Yeah.
And this is felt, by the way.
It's like a spray-on texture.
Do you want to say what your theory was, or do you not want to say that on the air?
Well, you know, we can only theorize weird container-shaped objects from Mexico might have multiple uses. We'll leave it at that. How about that?
Like they've been used for something
maybe
to get over here, and now they don't need it anymore.
They served as a good container. maybe.
And to be fair, it's okay for you to
Maybe.
make that assumption because we have nothing to go on. The guy,
Right.
Danny asked, and the guy was like,
Danny has been a little extra hyper since he's been handling this.
You know,
all
I
day,
did
but,
notice he had a pep in his step.
Yeah. The funny part is that, it's a piggy bank, and I don't know if you could see when I was holding it up, but in the back there's a coin slot. There is no empty
I was
plug
going to ask if you
or anything
saw
like
one.
that. So if you put your life savings into Mario
Where
here,
it's staying.
you're going to have to kill him to get it out.
Oh. And didn't you say Luigi? Or I read somewhere, we looked it up, and on Reddit, someone mentioned it and said Luigi was Mario, just painted like Luigi.
It's an incredible thing. You know what it reminds me of is you might have seen in different places they sell like Oriental rugs and things like that.
Yes.
Some truck will be set up in like the corner of a parking lot. What I really like to know is, does the property owner, are they in on this? Do they approve this?
Oh, man.
Or do these fellas just find these plazas that are owned by like out-of-state real estate companies and things and be like, I'm just going to set up shop until somebody kicks me out?
Let's double down. Let's say right now, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Some dude walks in and says, hey, man, do you mind if I sell ceramic Mario Brother piggy banks in your parking lot and in this parking lot? What would you say?
Well, technically, I'm a renter, so I don't even know that I could authorize that. But
damn it. Let's say you own the building.
But here's the thing, though. That's funny. In that example, I guarantee you that, if somebody were to say that and I go, yeah, you can use one of our parking spots, that would almost give them a little insulation. If they could say somebody said we could be here.
Sure.
But I don't know.
I don't know. Well, here it is. Mario, let us know what the hell's going on because we love it. And by the way, if Danny had come in and been like, I drove by this place, they had ceramic, I would have been pissed if he didn't stop. So he did the right thing.
He did. Like I said, from the road, I thought they were like stuffed animals. I'm kind of blown away to see what they actually are in real life.
Yeah. It is Tuesday Newsday. Very quickly, I've got to talk about a few things. This is pretty cool.
Okay.
You can keep Mario there if you want. Danny, you want to throw up the picture of the restaurant there, the tree? Check this out, dude. Look at that.
That's a restaurant?
Yeah, so one of the most magical restaurants in upstate New York just opened for its short, sensational season. The Blueberry Treehouse Farm is a storybook cafe nestled among trees on a blueberry farm in western New York. It reopened on January 6th, but it only runs from early June to the end of October if you want to get in. But every meal feels magical, they say. In fact,
I could see that.
it's 15 minutes from East Aurora and about just under 30 from downtown Buffalo. But it's awesome, man. There's a ton of pictures on social media. It's got tables that are sheltered by metal, mushroom-like umbrellas, to a spiral staircase. And
any indication of the menu, like what they might...
I'm looking. I couldn't find... Oh, here you go. The Blueberry Treehouse Farm serves small bites like charcuterie and s'mores boards, along with paninis and artisan pizzas named after trees. Its cafe also offers drinks ranging from blueberry lemonade to blueberry Moscato.
Ooh.
It's casual and whimsical atmosphere. Dogs on leashes are allowed. No reservations needed. Diners place orders at the bar before seating themselves, and live music floats from the cafe deck every Friday and Saturday. So if you want to check it out on Instagram, TikTok, all that, Blueberry Treehouse Farm. I just thought it was cool.
Blueberry Moscato. I bet that's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
I love those places that talk about the small bites. When you got a mouth like mine, everything is a small bite.
The other guy just said that.
Left me hanging on there.
What do we got coming up tomorrow? What do we got?
We got guests.
We do have guests.
We
I don't
got
remember who.
more stories.
Oh, I think we have Dan Smalls on tomorrow. Is that right, Danny? No? Who? Marie Adornato.
Yeah.
And Dan Smalls later that day. So we have two guests tomorrow. Dan Smalls, promoter for DanSmallsPresents.com, one of the biggest concert promoters in New York State. And Marie Adornato, one of our clients.
Yeah.
Because Marie Said So podcast. So it should be fun. Anything else?
I don't think so. I'm going to go
audio.
and do some lines with our ceramic friend here. And
bump it up, brother. Mike Brindisi, Matt Masur for Good News York on this Tuesday Newsday. Sponsored by Ads on the Go. Get adsonthego.com. We will see you tomorrow.
peace out.